Journey to a Godly Woman podcast, y'all. Hey, how y'all doing? I'm back. Yes, it's Rhea, and we're back. I'm back with another season. I'm so glad to be talking to y'all. I'm so glad to be finally getting this out. I've been saying that I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to do a podcast, but hey, sometimes you got to take a step back and reevaluate some things and go from there. So that's exactly what I did, and yet here we are. I'm starting a new season. It's called Yet I Still Stand. I'm so glad to be doing this season. This is a season that I'm actually going to do alone. Okay. For majority of the episodes, I will have guests and everything, but for these first couple of episodes, I really just want to get my story out there and do what God tells me to do. Period. At the end. Y'all know y'all can always follow me on Facebook, Journey to a Godly Woman. Of course, we have TikTok, Journey to a Godly Woman Pod. That's POD. And then, of course, we have the podcasters or Spotify or Anchor, or whatever you want to call it, or wherever you're listening from. Hey, y'all. Hey, it's Journey to a Godly Woman. If you have questions, concerns, want to give me feedback, whatever, you can always email me at journey to the number two, Godly Woman at gmail.com. Also, we have YouTube, Journey to a Godly Woman on YouTube as well. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, the first episode is basically, like I said, it's starting the season off. Yet I still stand. And I actually want to come and just really, this is kind of like the foundation point of the season that we're going to be talking about. Man, these past couple like 60 to 90 days it's been crazy. Okay. I have a secret that I need to tell y'all, and I just want to come out and just say it. Your girl's pregnant. I'm pregnant with a child, okay, and this is baby number not one, not two, not four, but five. They say five is the number of grace. So I want to just kind of I want to walk. I want y'all to walk this journey out with me because it's definitely going to be a journey. Okay. I want to walk this out. And this episode I'm actually going to be talking about today is called Silence the Noise. And it's going to seem like a roller coaster because honestly, it really was when I found out that I was pregnant. And so when I wrote this down, when I found out, it was just so many emotions. Okay. I'm not married. I'm not in a committed relationship. During this season, I'm going to try to be as transparent as possible, but also still give myself some type of privacy during this time as well. I'm gonna give y'all what God has instructed me to give during this season. So yeah, I'm pregnant, and man, it was crazy when I found out actually. Because to be totally honest, I contemplating on getting an abortion. I had not contemplated. I had planned. I made a plan to get an abortion. Because I was just like, you know how when stuff happens and you be like, man, God, this is not what I wanted. This this is not what I had planned for my life right now. But it's like, okay, how in the world you don't have this plan for your life, but you out here doing stuff to have for this to even happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I was at when I end up finding out about this. It's just that I was like, I'm not ready for another child. Mentally, emotionally, financially, ready physically, ready for another child. My house that I have, y'all know I bought my house in 2020. We only got 4 rooms in this house. Me, the twins share a room. The boys have their own room. There's no room for this child. No room at all for this child. And I'm just like, God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then I'm also ashamed because, like, I pride myself in try to do good. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I feel like I let myself down. I feel like I let people that look up to me down. I feel like a failure right now. So you know what? Instead of going through this, I'm just going to hide it and I'm just going to have an abortion. And the crazy thing about it is I don't even believe in abortions. Have I had an abortion before? A long time ago I have. But because I have been molded and changed into this woman, I'm like, how could I even think that thought? You know what I'm saying? How can I even say, well, because I messed up, I'm going to go ahead and this is what I'm going to do? It's the coward way out. For in my position, in my standpoint, it's a coward. It is cowardly the way out. It really is. And I got convicted so bad. When I say I planned it, I mean I planned it. I called, got an appointment, put in my PTO to take the day off to go to the appointment. I planned it. And I remember I was at the gym and I was working out, and normally I don't look at my phone like that. I listen to music and I be in my own zone. And I seen Darius Daniels. He had a new episode out on YouTube, and it was called the true. Don't quote me verbatim, but it was the true meaning of repentance. And he said, repentance is a U-turn. And I was just like, and it was so profound how it just came up that day. Because I literally had already planned everything out the day before. And that morning, because I go to the gym in the morning, at 5 a.m. And that morning, I seen it come up on my phone. I was like, wow, that convicted me so bad. So bad. This is before I even told anybody. I told my partners. But I hadn't told my mom, I hadn't told my girl, I ain't told nobody. And I had I sat there in the gym for a minute. It threw my whole session off. I had literally just started. We're literally like minutes into the gym session. I'm working out, doing my program on my roster, and it threw my whole gym session off. I felt so convicted. I felt like when people looked at me, they knew what I had thought and what I had planned to do. I felt so bad. Now it's like, I can't do this. I went home, I got in the shower, and as I'm in the shower, I heard God say clear as day, if you do this, you will be in the wilderness for 7 years. Now, sometimes when people hear people say stuff like that, they like, oh, yeah, okay. So you gonna pick and choose what sin you gonna commit and what you're not gonna commit. It has nothing to do with that. I never said that, me actually the act of what I did of having a child was right. I never said that at all. But what I'm saying is hearing God tell you something and then you deliberately still go ahead and do it after he's already said, if you do this, dot, 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 you were already in obedience, but that's just like blatantly disrespect and being disobedient. And if seeing that on my phone about what Darius Daniels said about true repentance, and then hearing that, I was like, okay. So I'm gonna have to tell my mom, I'm gonna have to tell my grandma, I'm gonna have to tell my dad, I'm gonna have to, yeah, because it's already a struggle. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. When I got out the shower and I heard that and I got out the shower, I said, God, whatever your will is for this child, let it be done. Whatever your will is. Because you haven't failed me since I've had children. And I have 4. I've prospered. I've overcame situations, but only because I was connected to you. Only because you have directed my path. Only because you have been by my side. So this is not no different. This isn't any different. And I think I was feeling so ashamed because I have already developed and grew into this woman, this different woman, that is like, how can you even think about doing something that you did years, like 13, 14 years ago. Well, it probably went, no, it's not, it wasn't that long. My son is, how old is Deshaun? Sean is 15 right now. So it was about 10 years ago. Not 14, 15, but it was about 10 years ago when I had an abortion before. But there's no condemnation. So all of that, you don't have to worry about that. But for you to go and do it again, knowingly, for you to literally sit out and plan to do something that you know is wrong. And really honestly, it's the reasoning why. Which is why I said it was the cowardly way out for me. Cause it's like, oh yeah, I messed up, so I'm just gonna go get rid of it. That's kind of the issue with the world. We have so many options and all of that to be able to correct our problems that sometimes it messes us up with holding ourselves accountable to our actions, especially if you are not connected to God. Or if you just, you're going to do what you're going to do because, you got free will. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I made a choice. And I said, God, whatever you're going to do, let your will be done with this child. I trust you with this child. And that's what I'm going to stand on. That's what I'm going to believe in. Because he's been carrying me. He's been making a way. He's been doing all of that. And this is real transparent because I'm not really not that type of person to come on here and say stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? But I know somebody needs to hear it. The main thing I want you to get out of this is recognize who's talking to you. Recognize what spirit is talking to you. Recognize who is talking to you. Because you know that with God it's about abundance. It's adding to. God is not going to put you in a situation or do anything that's going to hurt you at all. So it was not God telling me, yeah, go get an abortion. You messed up. You got to fix your mistake. Because at the end of the day, if I say that God is my provider, my protector, my waymaker, he is all in all to me, then why don't I think that he can carry me through this situation? Why don't I think that he has already been providing through my mess ups and he won't continue to do that? You see what I'm saying? It's all in your faith. It has to do with your faith. So when you come up against situations and when your back is against the wall and when you do something, when you do something that you know was wrong, when you do stuff in your own will because you want to, submit it to God and know that he's going to take care of it for you because he's been doing that anyway. Because sometimes we listen to the world and we take the cowardly way out. Instead of standing there and admitting our wrongdoing, we hide behind it. Take accountability for your actions. It's not right. It's not the child's fault that you was out here doing what you was doing. Not protecting yourself. Not being cautious. It's not the child's fault. So why are you taking it down on the child? There are people in this world that would kill to have a child, but can't naturally. But then you want to go and do that because you out here that's not right. Am I thrilled about it? No, because this will be the first, pregnancy that I'm not in a committed relationship. All my other children, I've always been in a committed relationship. So this is very, very different for me. And am I disappointed in myself? Yeah, absolutely. I've kicked myself so many times. Mad, angry, very disappointed. Because you know the situation you're already in right now, and then you go and do that. Why would you do that, Ree? That's what I be telling myself. So, with that being said, I hope this is something that you can take away from my wrongdoing and just think about when your back is against the wall and you have to really put your foot down and say, no, I'm going to trust God for this. Even though I messed up, I'm going to trust that He's going to still provide. He's still going to make a way, even in my wrongdoing. Because He's never left me anyway. We have to stop trying to take the easy way out because the world supplies it. That doesn't mean it's right. So that's really all I got for this episode. And I hope that y'all continue to follow me on this journey because y'all know my podcast is all about, that's why it's called Journey to a Godly Woman. I'm not at the destination point. I'm trying to get to the destination point, meaning that I'm not perfect, but I'm striving to be better every single day. And I fall and I fall and I fall, but I always get back up and I always see God's face. And I'm always trying to do better. And everything that you go through is a lesson. You're supposed to learn from your mistakes. You're supposed to learn from the things that you do and then pass it on to somebody else so they won't make the same mistake that you did or try to anyway. But at least you're able to pass the torch and give some knowledge to somebody else and say, this is where I messed up at. And I see you're going down the wrong road and I don't want you to do the same. We're supposed to be a lending hand. So this podcast is me lending my hand out, saying this is where I messed up at. I had to step back and reevaluate the situation. And this is me silencing the noise. Because when I found out about it, I was just so in my head and you need to get rid of it and you need to do this and you need to do that. And I was just so ashamed that I just wanted to hide it. I didn't want nobody to know. I didn't want to do anything because I was so ashamed. But I'm silencing noise. My best friend always says, when you need to take the sting out of it. And taking the sting out of it means that when you have those thoughts or those voices in your head taunting you about something that you know you did wrong, you take the sting out of it by actually saying it or speaking it out loud or confessing it. Take the sting out of it. And this is what I'm doing. Taking the sting out of it. Because that means that the enemy or even myself can't torment myself no more. Because now I'm not hiding anything. It's out in the open. My hand is not hidden. I've gained my authority. I gained my power back by taking the sting out of it and confessing it. So, y'all know where y'all can find me. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to YouTube channel. Share this message to anybody that you feel like may need to hear it. And stay tuned because I have more to come. Peace.